addendum. I remembered the part of the dream where I was getting chased. I was at some sort of bar or something, and we were discussing. This is going to get a little deep here. This is going to piss everybody off. Like, literally everybody. We were discussing um, the biblical appropriateness of substance use. Um, and these two people, they were liberals. One of them was a tranny, and that's part of what caused things. But they were prudes. And we're all sitting at a bar, by the way. So my argument was, okay, what separates alcohol from other substances, right? So you've got your, you got your Jesus drinking wine, your Paul telling the guy to have a little wine for his heart, and they said yes, but uh, these people smoking their magic pens. He was talking about like a vape pen. Oh, that's the devil, Bobby Boucher. And I was like, well, I don't know if vaping's good, but uh, technically, I don't know if there's a biblical argument against it. And they were getting into the pharmakia thing and whatnot. And I was talking about, I was like, well, hold on a second here. I want to know what your distinction is. What separates wine from these other ones? Like, what's its distinction? What is it biblically? Because I haven't found it. I'm willing to entertain that there may be such a thing. I'm not dogmatic about it. That's why I say it'll make everybody mad, because technically, the pharmakia argument against, everybody's doing weed these days. Pharmakia argument against that doesn't work, because it would include alcohol. That's a substance. Um, and it would include Tylenol. And it would technically include caffeine, because caffeine is a psychoactive analgesic. Um, so that the only way that argument works, where those uses of those things are in fact sorcery, is the way they're used, the reason they're used. If you're using it to manipulate somebody, or if you're using it, um, maybe even to manipulate yourself. I think there's an argument that can be made there. The real issue is addiction and moderation. Um, uh, I am free to do anything, but I won't be brought under the control of anything. All things are allowed to me, but not all things are expedient, Paul says. So in that sense, you can get addicted to food. I mean, there's a lot of chunky monkeys in the U.S. that are in a lot more danger than old deadhead Floyd on the corner there sucking his vape pen and talking about how great that drum solo breakdown was at concert X, Y, and Z in 1972 that nobody else ever went to. I mean, he's annoying, but Chumbawamba with the 4 foot height sitting down on her back said worse straights. And we got that in the US. That's not something you had a lot in antiquity. So I brought up the point. I said, well, how do you differentiate alcohol? And this couple got mad at me, and they were a couple like the traditional prudish couple you meet, um, like the church ladies from the SNL skit. That I think it was Dana Carvey was the church lady. They were like that, but they were leftist, and one of them was a tranny, and they got mad at me. I said, "Well, you're a man," and he in the wig was like, and went to slap me, and I caught his wrist, and I said, "No, don't you do that. Don't you do that." And they got all torqued off, and so I left. I didn't run. I just and I left, and I think they had a mob coming after me. So I was running around, and then I was back on this blimp airship thing, and it was like an antique shop with a back door to the outside deck that goes around. I guess it had more than one level, and there's a big old fat cat in the antique shop place who's like, "Hey, you're here. What's up, buddy? I'm your buddy now. Let's go somewhere." I was like, "Shut up, cat. You're gonna let people know I'm here." And then I went back outside and woke up, and I did that first video for October 22nd about the nuclear blimp, which it was. And then I was messing around on social media. I was like, "Yeah, oh, that was the other part of the dream," and that's a more interesting part. So